So the other day I'm driving to work and I start to kind of smell like a little brake smell.
Do you smell it?
So then I start to think maybe the pad is like stuck or the caliper like went out but won't go back in. Whatever it is, I get off my exit, I set at a light, and I see smoke just rolling from the right side of the car. So I pull up into work, get out, it's rolling even harder. Upon further investigation, I noticed that the brake line was severed. I'm not too sure how that happened, but obviously it's not sending fluid to the caliper. Basically, I roasted a caliper, a rotor, ruined a set of pads, and now I got to spend a bunch of money, which is kind of a good thing for you guys, because now we can go over everything you need to know about installing brakes on a BRZ, FRS, or GT86. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. So here's everything we're going to be using to replace the bat stuff with. We have a centric blank rotor. We got front and rear pads. They are the track day spec, like their hardest compound. We got some stainless steel brake lines, fluid, and a OEM caliper. So the first step to this whole operation is I need to get this painted black to match the other one that's currently on the car. And then we get started getting all this put on. Here's a look at the scorched earth. Look at this paint job now. Just chips off, so that was at least 500 degrees plus. Here's the damaged line, which caused all this to happen. And look at this rotor too, holy. Well, now we definitely need to start getting this out of here. So the first thing is there's two 14 mil bolts here, and then one right down here. So you want to take those two off. Hopefully, since this got so hot, these aren't like welded on there. No, it wasn't too bad. Alright, now caliper can come off. Yeah, it was probably a good idea to buy a new one. Look at those seals. Holy. Yeah, she got warm, boys. Whew. Yeah, look at the culprit. It's still kind of rubbery. I don't think I'm going to get a core charge back for that one. So here's the next two bolts we're going to have to remove for the bracket for the caliper. This bolt here and this one here. So if you've never had these removed recently or before at all, I would highly recommend hitting it with a little bit of lubricant. Cool, and then we'll let that set for a little while and then we should be able to hopefully break these loose.
Yeah, 240 had them, but luckily they were easy. I didn't even fucking put it back in.
Well, the paint on the back of the bracket kind of survived, but the front fucking huge. Yeah, it's a bit of an oil. It's definitely an oil. There we go. Moves made.
Hopefully your wheel bearing didn't get fucking toasty.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that as soon as I pulled this off, honestly, because I was looking at the studs and they look a little toasty. How fucking warm do you think that? Do you think it was glowing? Yeah. Definitely fucking glowing. Solid beam. So the new pads are on. Now the next step is to get the new caliper put on and the brake light attached. So we got the fronts done. Sorry I didn't get to film that. I had the camera die and didn't have an extra battery on hand and really couldn't stop to wait for the charger. So we got the new caliper, rotor, and pads and brake lines on here on the front, which look really, really good. And now we want to move over to the back and go ahead and get the pads on the back. It's very similar to the front. We have two 14mm bolts back here that we gotta take loose. Optionally, you can just take the bottom one out and then loosen the top one and kind of swing the caliper. Alright, so we got the caliper bungeed out of the way. Now we can go and pull out the old pads. There's the first one. And then the other one. These still got a lot of meat, just like the fronts. So we're going to get our little retainers in, so now we just go ahead and get the pads put in. So now the kind of hardest part is getting this caliper pushed back in. So I got a piece of wood and a clamp, and essentially we're going to place the piece of wood like this and then clamp it so that it pushes the caliper in and then we can close it. Slide right back into place. Go. So now we just got to get the two 14mm bolts tightened back up, and then this side is complete. So there we go. That's how you replace a caliper, lines, rotor, and pads on your BRZ, FRS, or GT86. A super easy process, and I'll have a link to the pads, rotor, caliper, and lines in the description as usual if you want to check any of that stuff out for yourself. The pads and lines are a huge upgrade versus stock for sure. Tons of bite in the pad and it stops super quick. If you guys have any questions or issues regarding changing brakes or lines or whatever it may be on your FT86, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll do everything that I can to try to help you out. And as always, I'd like to thank each and every single one of you for watching. And if you would like to subscribe for more mediocre content such as this, please do and take care.